Hey guys, so welcome to the month of September. I'm Charlotte Azaria Nashu, also known as Jasmine Noel, and I guide the collective back to self and purpose by speaking their truth so that they can stand in their power. Welcome all. I hope that you guys are feeling elated, in gratitude, feeling in your abundance, feeling different, feeling a little bit more clear. This is maybe a little weird, but we are here. And so I'm seeing a little bit of a difference. 44 on the clock I just saw. I'm seeing a difference in community. I'm seeing a difference in service. I'm seeing a difference in attitude. I'm seeing a difference in people starting to believe. We're just now coming out of this Pluto and Aquarius first preliminary real deal season of seeing what the Pluto and Aquarius generation is going to be. This is a decade. This is not a decade. This is a generation. This is a next evolution. This is a next era. It's a huge one. And Pluto leaves Aquarius on September 2nd, but we'll be back in on November. Let me check. November 19th. Permanently until 2044. That's why we saw 44. This is going to be a very powerful time. The energy is definitely shifting. Even though Mars is entering Cancer on September 4th, it's just giving us a more of a cozy, welcoming committee of warmth, of the council. We also have Mercury enters Virgo back on the September 9th. And the Sun enters Libra on the 22nd. On the 23rd, Venus enters Scorpio. And then on the 26th, Mercury enters Libra. It's a very powerful month. It's a full circle. It's really different. It's time to say your goodbyes. And it's time to understand to don't self-sabotage yourself. Watch what you decide to believe in. What you put in the past is what will become your future. A point of focus and vision, the involvement of Capricorn, saying our final goodbyes to the past. Final involvement of Capricorn stages, apocalypse. And we see our final selves. We have the Knight of Materials. Forward focus, slow and steady wins the race. I'm a limitless being and can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. 333. Boom. We are moving things. We are really on the precipice. We are seeing it for all what it truly is and what we truly can be and desire to be. We have the 7 inspiration. Look at my card. Look at the dawn. The turning of a new age. This is a very welcoming time. A very welcoming spirit. We are really, we got the Chariot. You better know what Beyonce was saying. Okay? This is a renaissance, honey. We are really entering a whole new paradigm. We got the High Priestess. Girl, sit on your path. Sit on your anointing. Sit on your knowing. This is the throne. We have the Ring, the abundance. We've came a long way from the castle back in April. Okay. We was building out a whole structure. A whole paradigm shift. And now We are entering a precipice of some high level energy that is coming to us very, very quickly. Very quickly. Let me pause this real quick. I'll be right back. So, this is a huge introduction. We just came out of the biggest introduction of our lives with this new era. So, I want everybody to be ready for September. Going into October, it's going to be a lot of heavy, powerful, potent energy. So this is a stomping ground. It's a shaking of roots. The new moon in Virgo, and I'm reading from the Moonology Diary 2024. Her key themes here is well-meaning, authoritative blockages, and challenges. The seventh inspiration is really speaking about, even though we see this image of this pushing apart, or this to bring in this new wave, and we have the feminine here, and the feminine is really overcoming a lot of blockages, a lot of challenges, stepping in her authority, understanding her purpose, understanding who she is, what she brings in, what she sustains, what she believes in. It's almost like she gets her breath back. It's almost like she gets exactly what she has been looking for. And the Chariot here is Cancerian energy. And Cancerian energy is just like this chariot, this momentum, this galloping, this stride, this power that just is steady with these horses. It's just this freedom. That Sagittarius moon that we had some many moons ago, it was really talking to us about how to activate our freedom. And if I can cry, I'm going to cry. Because this is the very moment where the divine feminine, she really develops and blossoms truly into herself. She carries the tune. She carries the torch. She carries the power. She carries this momentum. She is propelling forward. Forward. With the very tips of her fingers. She is the orchestrator and the sustainer. She is the courage. She is the meat. She is the garden. She is the shadow. We will have a super full moon eclipse in Pisces. The key words of this lunation is a rock, a soft place, stuck in the middle, and release. This is I am here and I have always been here. This is a completion. This is a completion of a real cycle. It's 2019 all the way to 2024. That's a powerful year. Got the Nine of Emotions. She has all her cups, and now we have the Nine of Cups. I showed you a couple videos back where all the cups were on the table, but now she's really in this water, this element of water, and she's using this infusion, this flow, this magnetic flow that you can feel through your hands, and she's alchemizing it. You can hear the whooshing of the water being manipulated and designed through her own hands. She's able to utilize the very thing that she always knew that she had. It was strength and water that brought us here. This is why we have the High Priestess, which would be in a sense of Pisces. And then we have Chariot here, which is the sense of Cancer. And there's so much potency when we have the 9 of materials, 10 of materials, where we flush ourselves into this beautiful deep garden. And we took this olive branch. We took this branching, we took this synergy to close in, to reach into ourselves that we fight, like the hall of ourselves, the hall of mirrors, the hall of many women that put a stop to the manipulation and the lostness of the mind, but took this opportunity to truly see itself. And I want to read this. Feelings of defeat, learning from lessons of loss, fighting, winning at all costs, a time to extend an olive branch, seeing what's really important, failure, and being hurt and bullying. Prompts, social moths. I'm going to win. I am the one who deserves this. It doesn't matter who gets in my way. Nothing will stop me. I don't care what it takes to make this happen. The muse of 5 voices looks down, reflecting back the ways we can miss what really matters as we strive to win. Sometimes we find ourselves falling victim to someone else's ambition or iniquity, and other times it is we ourselves who are lost on the path to victory. We forget about how we should get there, and we forego our better interests, our integrity, our balance, our humanity, in order to come out on top. Sometimes when we win, we lose. How do you want to feel at the top of that ladder you are climbing? Where does it really go? What costs are you paying to win, and what fallout is associated with those costs? Seek connection and trust, and extend with friendship, forgiveness, and deep compassion. When winning your success resents the failure that is cost, how many broken stories forgive the pieces that you've lost? I want to read that again. When winning your success resents the failure that it cost, how many broken stories forgive the pieces that you've lost? There's always an important olive branch. There's always an important role. There's always an important friendship. Look at the Lovers. That is asking you to make a choice and a commitment to bring love in at all costs. And I see this as Aquarian energy still. Even though the star card is not here, I see the star here. And I feel like the divine feminine is here to bring a sense of forgiveness, a sense of beautiful emotion that enriches all of us. This is our big cup. Look, our awakening. The divine feminine is the one that needs to awaken. I feel like the divine feminine is also learning that it is not us that needs to still outside of us, but we are the encompassing of that enrichment that already belongs to us. And I feel like the divine feminine is learning a valuable and worthy story. I feel like she is really learning something that is so much more deep, is so much more profound, that she has really listened and almost lost her stardust. She almost lost what she was actually looking for all along. And see, the lesson is to stop looking outside of ourselves and look within. 1444. It is time for us to look within to find the destination to our stardust, which is our home. And I feel like she is the one that opens up the gate. She is the one that goes in. And the divine masculine is the one that sits out and guides her to herself. 1511. And I see this as a place where it's not in the self-study of the masculine, but it is. But it is the reflection of the role keeper that holds him in his balanced stature. And I feel like we found our union. We have the lovers. But it is us getting out of our heads, getting out of the voices that speak to us, and getting into our own intuition and rhythm to make the pattern of our own abundance. We are the crafter, or he is the crafted. And we are the spinning well that radiates that actual enlightenment, that actual awakening, this actual inspiration. We bring in the dawn. We bring in the age. 1611, I saw on the clock. The divine feminine is finding her suit. She's finding her way. She's finding her purpose. She's finding her whole all along. Yes. We have the 5 of Exilicars, but it's what we lost. That 5 of Cups, of feeling like we lost something. The 9 of Wands, and we are putting up our shield. We're putting up this armor. Yes, with the 7 of Rods again here. The 7 of Wands. What are we putting down? What are we taking out? What are we spreading apart? What are we giving? What did we have to give away to regain what we felt was lost? Which was living up under ourselves all along. We have the Black Moon, Lilith, and Leo. Allow your light to shine. See, we weren't shining our song. Remember the new moon in Leo at 4 degrees, which is a Cancerian degree. We're talking about Cancer. Losing her lust, losing her shine, losing who she is. Why are we losing who we are? We have a new moon in Virgo. Slow and steady wins the race. We have that Knight of Pentacles. So this is time for us to really step out on our true nature, really step out and submerge ourselves into what we really want, submerge ourselves into what we really desire, submerge ourselves into bringing out this stardust, bringing out this light that's within us, Atma, Mother Earth. Who are we? We say. Who are we? We say. Black Moon and Lilith and Gemini, liberate your truth. And then we have Australia, Mother of the Gods. And then right after that we have Venus, Love and Abundance. And then Eve, the Divine Feminine. See, we can really look what is true. There's many layers to us. We have the Black Moon and Lilith and Scorpio, or sexual alchemy. And then we have the Moon, intuition and emotional healing, which means affirmation, patience, and maturity, which becomes our altation to become the master manifester. I feel like Spirit is telling us, you have been here all along, Divine Feminine. And when you come to earth, you find your shadow. The divine feminine is in its shadow. It's not being the sun. It's the reflection of that moon. The sun. This lushness, this Venus and Earth, it's one and the same. They both encompass one another. But see, we have Venus, and then right after we have this black moon and Lilith in Scorpio with sexual alchemy. And we know that Scorpio has 7 evolutions. It has the snake. So I'm asking ourselves at this time, what is she here to really bring? I say the serpent. I say Venus 2121 was really the tree. And I feel like when we were talking about that Pandora box, I feel like we were talking about Venus. See how she's holding this, her planet, but it also looks like the apple. So what did it bring about with this Scorpio? Sexual alchemy. I feel like it's really the lushness. Venus, the luxury, the richness, the food, the pleasure, the sensuality, the senses. And I feel like it brings about its opposite, the black moon and Lilith, Scorpio, sexual alchemy, the 8th house energy, which is in the other side of that moon, that reflection. The divine feminine is very deep. The divine feminine is very, very watery. It's very powerful. It's very potent. See, remember, God created the heavens and the earth and split the land and the water. Venus is very luxurious. It's very almost siren energy. It's very alluring. It's very opening. It's very almost like it's drowning. It's almost feeling like it's swimming through deep, powerful waters. And it goes so deep, and the between is the Scorpio and the Venus. Let's call that 2344 is here on top of the earth. And then we have this passage that is deep, and it rips and it tears, and you feel the ecstasy of this watery moon. You reach this powerful essence that cleanses you. The divine feminine goes through a fermentation process between patience and maturity. The woman that wants to grow older and deeper into her womanhood. And this sexual alchemy, this sexual potency, this sexual arousal, the all-encompassing of her. Ashreya, mother of the gods. And this is the liberation of that truth that Lilith in Gemini, Black Moon Lilith in Gemini, Maturity and patience, Divine Feminine, is going to help you with your Master Manifester. And then we have Saturn in the back of the deck. We're going to keep going. And Saturn is this age, this reality and discipline. And then we have this Black Moon and Lilith and Capricorn, elevated status. See, there is a status that he gets when his woman is aligned. It's not the sense of someone being controlled, but a sense of the all-encompassing of that power. It's the almost of the opposite of him containing the water. Whatever he puts in, she can either replenish or destroy it. See, he is the sublimation of that deep, powerful essence of that spiritual magic, that recalling into spirit, the eagle. The eagle is part of the Divine Feminine's process of going through Scorpio. Scorpio is water, but also this ripping, this underworld, that Frishon, going into the underworld. And when did we go into the underworld? I think we went into the underworld in July. And so now we're coming out of that. And we're seeing, I don't think it was July. Yeah, it was July. And we're seeing ourselves brand new. We're recalling back memory, recalling our soul back to self. Her being pregnant. And so he goes through this drive, this energy, this passion, this stepping through portals. It's a dance. This aggression is calm to go through this dissolution of emotional clearing. She almost looks like an AI, a dissolution, a separatism, a separate weight. What does the Divine Feminine have to feel like she has to become in order to see her true worth? What has been lost? What has been stolen? What has been taken that where there is no true reality of the discipline? What is the structure within this Pandora box? Is it the Black Moon and Lilith that speaks about honor your individuality? Look at all that water and how it illuminates into this stardust, the pouring. I think we've forgotten on who we are. Uranus, spark of genius and ascension. And then right before that we have the Black Moon, Lilith, and Cancer. Honor your emotions. What do we need to speak, or do we need to go back? I think we need to go back to this tree, back to this thing that was truly, was it everything that we needed? Was it everything that we needed to see our true individuality? Did we need to really return back to the Eve of Garden, back to ourselves? Because everything is happening for us. So who can truly be against us? Is it we unplug from the game because is it too hard for us? Is that how we lose our memory? We become the NPC inside of us? We don't activate the emotions, the clearing, the memories. Water in 3033, water is our memories. So I see that when the sun comes into contact with water, fire and water, it is the burning twin flame reflection of its own touch and mirror. It's so potent, it almost feels like a needle piercing, but extracting poisons from the very bits of the holes. Whereas the loss of your stardust, the loss of your glance, the loss of your illumination, the loss of your shine, the loss of your breath, the loss of your life, the loss of your hope. See, when we come into mundane, we come into this dissolution of ourselves. And we're on our knees and we've forgotten who we truly are. As truly being in, just sitting on the other side of it. We're sitting and protecting what's on the other side of it. That's really what the Pandora box is. It's like the divine feminine is to sit on the other side of it. And for those who can only go through to see it, has to go through the actual burning and purging of it. See, Scorpio is the sacred act of surrender, the emptying out, the purge. It's the it feels very stripping. It feels very stripping. To really truly come into enlightenment, to come into geniushood, to come into your ascension. Let's pull some more cards, y'all. Okay, so I feel like in the month of September, everybody needs to be using some peppermint. It energizes and invigorates you. It's a good herb that can really help you clear your third eye. Then we have frankincense. It builds transcendence and awareness. It brings more clarity and awareness to your third eye and above, to your crown. Then we have copaiba. Bridges the body and the mind. Okay. And then we have rose, nurtures, loves, and self and others. I feel like what this is telling me, like, you need to go through a period of almost like shock. That's really Uranus energy, coming into shock. It's what this whole year was about, to come into a place of shock. So you can really see and build that transcendence of that other layer of that awareness. Is about going beyond the experience, going beyond what is just in front of you, is going beyond what the mundane is. It's really deepening your soul into this richness that makes you truly swim in a abundance of waters, memories, the collective anointing, this very powerful place of spirit, this place of water, this place of union, this place of connectedness. And it teaches you how to truly become free. It really teaches you how to truly become who you want to be. And Jesus' spirit, when we talk about Pisces, we find out the true message, the true reality, the true word. And it speaks about this daily bread in Virgo season, this written passage that Virgo really gives us. It is the purifier before the purified, before it enters justice's cleansing. And so there is a sense of Libra when we go into Libra season. This is a judgment call. It's a judgment. It is a competitive of divinity and judgment. Contractual agreement to your will of God is known through the people. And it's saying our mirror of our hell state. This is why Venus ruling over in Libra is exalted in Pisces. See, Pisces' message is that Pisces is on this endscape, as if it's almost at end game. And Pisces is ruled over Neptune, and Neptune rules Hollywood. It rules that end game scape. What's that card? I think I showed it in a different deck or on a different reading, where the game is almost like very much over. Like, you want to be of compassion, Pisces, but you don't want to lose your soul in Virgo, I'm hearing. And this reality after Leo, the stage. We also have the King of Wands here. So this your greatest inspiration. That's what I feel. The King of Wands is courageous leader, inspiration, enthusiasm. Between the concept is the art of being humble. The woman is now showing a child around the school she initially built. She is now director of the organization and moves around from unit to unit in order to inspire the next generation of helpers. The movement from King to Wands to the Page of Wands is a handover of the fiery wand. It is now time for the next generation to take center stage. And this happens at the peak of achievement and the realization that younger minds can bring new life into the project. This in-between stage comes around when we feel humble enough to pass on what we have achieved to others. It involves teaching and going of self. Many great leaders have practiced humility and inspired a new generation to be like them. So I see this as a passing of the torch back into masculine to feminine to masculine. This equal balance, this equal access. And so when I say this about like Pisces is again this spirit. When it is like a hall, it is a mirror wall. It holds a lot of mirrors. And so it sits at this reflection point where we have to really look deep within the unexplainable of our knowing and holding this vision, because Pisces does have a high vision. Aquarius gives the Pisces the vision. And so Pisces also rules this purgatory. And this purgatory is the separation of your spirit. And so when you dissipate the emotional bearing or the emotional labor for yourself, you truly forget what is capitalizing you, what is trying to really teach you what loneliness and being alone means, and this sense of hell, or the sense of state of not knowing. Let's get a little bit deeper. We have artificial heart. There we go. Artificial heart. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. This disillusion and of artificial heart. This is the root of the problem. There was one time where I was said that Pisces is fake. And why I say this is because Pisces can go around a whole full circle and still can't find themselves. And Pisces has to really tap into its capacity of compassion to really link back into the knowing that it has to clear everything out. Pisces is very powerful, but Pisces has to understand, and this is for Pisces, really. Pisces has to understand that everything after you, Pisces, before you, gets dumped into you. So everything gets discarded in Pisces house. So there is lots of things that could have been left. See, Jupiter is also ruling over treasure, but Jupiter also rules over Pisces, not necessarily Neptune. And so there's this Neptune-Jupiter axis that has to be facilitated to understand what is being called into the fullness of action. And so Pisces is compassion, and Jupiter is this luck and fortune and faith, and this expansion and the law. And so sometimes Pisces wants to go against that law. So it goes against its own current. When Pisces is stabilized in Jupiter, and see, we've already went through Jupiter and Pisces a couple moons ago. Okay? This cycle was telling us to hold on to the specialness of what we truly are. And when we hold on to our special gift, the gift of knowing how to either wait or knowing how to be disciplined in the action, or whatever special, actual, tangible, subtle faith that gets you throughout the mundane world, which is Virgo, the reality. It says to hold on to this compassion and this emotional healing that is very powerful, but it can almost be like stalemate. Pisces rules over the Hangman and the Tarot, and it says this unmovable stalemate or stagnation, which you have to see from Pisces. Pisces has to see things from a whole different perspective. Pisces really has to understand itself. It really has to understand the self going into the entrance of Virgo, reality, nature, 4411. And so in the third house, Pisces can lose itself through almost nature or things that are aka unnatural, because Taurus is in the third house, and the third house is ruling over our shadow. So when Pisces congregates with things that are unnatural, what has happened with Pisces at a very young age, which third house is early education, or at the very beginning stage of learning and the mind, Pisces has to put in their mind their also worth, because Taurus rules worth. But the second house is in Aries, and Aries is the brain. Okay? Aries is the brain, so Pisces has to speak life, has to know themselves, because Aries deals with the self. If you put Aries back at the first and everything is in its coordinates, it understands that I have to know thyself. I have to engage second house with natural things so that my soul does not deplete. In the third house of Gemini, understanding the difference from personality and understanding the true coordinates of the self. Also, Gemini is very air. It goes through the mind. It does sounds. It engages in the streets with other people in the very local community. Social media as well. So when we put Pisces back at the rising, we have Aries in the second. Aries needs to know itself. So Pisces has to know itself. It has to say who they are. Say affirmations so that their self-esteem can grow. It can purify. It also has to take action. Pisces has to learn how to take the action to know thyself. See, Pisces has to stay true to who they really are. It's almost in an obsolete position when to put Pisces at the rising. Pisces has to engage with natural things. This is why we have the artificial heart. Let's read Dissolution. I hope y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. Dissolution, emotional clearing. After the ego has burned to ashes, okay, you are left with raw, real, and challenging emotions around what has occurred. This is like the feeling you have after your heart has been shattered into pieces by needing to say goodbye to someone who isn't healthy in your life. Or the feeling of fear around money and taking care of yourself after you left that cushy yet miserable in favor of pursuing your passion. Miserable job in favor of pursuing your passion. The universe is requiring you to sit with the angst and unpredictability when you pull this card in your reading. Processing, purging, and working with your emotions is extremely important during your alchemical journey. When the dissolution card shows up in an oracle reading, it's signaling a time for you to cleanse and wash away emotions that have prevented you from shining your light in the world. Okay? Your frequency and vibration consisting of thoughts and feelings imitate from your physical body and create the world around you. See, the body is ruled over Aries and Cancer, okay? The body. The moon rules the body, okay? Aries, if you put it back on the rising, is the body. The first house rules over the body. Okay? So when Pisces is at the rising, this is why we talked about back in February, there's a cleansing, the last squeeze of releasal. And you need to do that for yourself. By how to do that, you had to sit in stillness. And so you need to really sit in this period of this shadow and learning how to release. When we release limiting emotions like fear and self-doubt and unworthiness, our magnetism and vibrating manifestation power increases. Okay? This is the second phase in alchemy involving the element water associated with Jupiter. Have you read your book? The planet of spiritual growth. In this stage, there is an emotional cleansing of limitations, trauma, and outdated patterns and belief systems. This step cleanses away the ashes that were created for calcinization. While this can feel uncomfortable, it is necessary for you to pull back the societal mask and reveal your true self. Dissolution phase shadow work. Draw yourself a purifying bath with sea salt crystals of your choice. Allow yourself to soak and meditate on this part of your inner transformation. You are cleansing your unconscious mind. Sink into the deep waters of your soul to find the answers. Okay? This is really potent, y'all. Let's read this artificial heart card. And then we might wrap this up. It says, if I don't feel the warmth of the sun, will I blame the sun or myself? Ooh. Didn't we just talk about that? The sun illuminates the moon. It says, if I don't feel the warmth of the sun, will I blame the sun or myself? Good Lord. A female figure in an android or a robot with cyber lines traveling over the skin like gentle spiders. A black choker of feminine servitude and jade eyes of futuristic indifference. Okay, this is also the new moon phase, and the stage is bargain. Building oneself to specifications, stealing oneself to adversity, and dreaming of electric sheeps. Once upon a time, it was the time of flying monkeys. Someone journeyed to a place that wasn't Kansas in order to gain a heart. Oh, such a charming old-fashioned fairy tale. A new heart can be bought on the internet now and be delivered in a couple of days with a brand new shiny instruction manual. It works too. It gets the job done. It's not a job of feelings, it's scripted, like a job of numbers. Actually, it feels, numbers is Virgo energy. Actually, it feels like a trade-off. Gemini, there's trades. Leo, Gemini, Leo. Gemini and Leo is the gym. Leo is the gym. Leo and Gemini are the gym. Okay? Let's get back into this. We find refuge in the rational mind, which in turn gives us back the illusion of control. Let's say it again. We find refuge in the rational mind, which in turn gives us back the illusion of control. But yet we still, but we still feel, we still long to live through our emotions fully. We're truly like an artificial knight that wants to become a real person. Happiness is not in numbers, but it's not because numbers are bad. It is because there is nothing that alone can grant happiness and guarantee it. We trade in the natural world for artificiality, and then we blame this choice as the reason why our sky has no color. What if it's not actually connected? What if it's just an excuse? What if even an artificial heart could beat and fall in love and drown in sorrow? Why are you bargaining with your soul? You came here to find your soul. You came here to be the inspirational. You came here to leave a legacy. January, we came here to leave a legacy. We came here to leave a legacy, to let our light shine. We came here to create. We came here to give our all into that full submersion of our creation. Why do you run away from self-pleasure when the pleasure is the awakening? When you come here down onto Earth, Venus, this is the place where you come alive, where you come into understanding your purpose, where you come in and you find your soul, where you come in and find your people, where you come online to increase your vitality, to increase your knowing, to increase your spirit. And see, they want to enter this age of Aquarius and give us artificialness. But that's not the balance of this. The balance is the actual the air and water features. It's the very thing that helps us to enter the truance of our luxury, the truance of our gains. Put Aquarius and Taurus together and see how shit get done. It's when you operate in your full-on role, you will see everything come full, aligned, and together. So let's talk about it. Let's be about it. Let's really find the self-worth. See, y'all are peaceful amongst mediocrity. You're peaceful amongst low vibrational energy. And because you don't want to do the work, you don't want to put in the understand your responsibility to take in and be responsible for your healing, for your worth, for your luxury. No one else is on this planet is here to afford to you anything. Your opinion doesn't matter. You should go forth and not be mediocre. You should live your life to the highest point of your degree, because yes, I'm running my own race. See, you have to understand there's so much more than you ever thought that there will be. In limitations inspire innovations. See, y'all take limitations and think that you are just limited to none. See, Uranus is speaking no. Spark of genius and ascension. Going beyond the experience. Going beyond the pain. Taking that pain. And see, Aquarius is the very last alchemical point of finding your ascension. Is becoming the master manifester. See, Uranus likes to blow things up. It likes to innovate things. It likes to expand and turn things out of control. But see, the things Uranus does, it creates chaos so it can create the beauty within, which is that water, holding that reflection of also that submersion, that flow, that full capability to create everything. Again, the mother of gods. She steps out and she understands who she is, Venus. She steps out and she understands how she is to create. Look, the mother of earth again. This is her. This is a sustainer. Look at the Black Madonna. Sacred dark goddess mother. This is the potency. This is the encompassing of your shadow. She is the one that nurtures it all the way through. I just opened it to it. It says, the primordial dark mother goddess is a powerful archetype that has been venerated in ancient cultures throughout the world. For example, Isis, Hexe, Lilith, Kali Ma, and the Black Madonna. When the Black Madonna shows up, it's time to surrender. The dark mother of creation always is working for your highest good. And even though it may not feel like it at times, this key is to take a deep breath, release, and allow everything to fall away that isn't in alignment. The Black Madonna is showing you that chaos is just another form of divine creation in the universe and an indicator that new beginnings are taking shape. Feelings of doubt and impatience can come up. You also may receive healing support from divine feminine or maternal figures in the form of financial professional or life guidance. Accept the help you need from others, and it's a gift to help you on your journey. The Black Madonna is a controversial artistic depiction of the Virgin Mary. Her origins are theorized to be of African origin, perhaps based on pagan dark earth mother deities. Racism rules the church narrative. European clergy would whitewash her image with paint and explain that candle soot or age causes skin to turn dark. The controversy of the Black Madonnas is another example of how the religious patriarchy has demonized dark divine feminine figures. They place value and importance on the immaculate, conception, virginity, and woman's role to remain pure or submissive. The Virgin Mary was packaged to represent submission and obedience, while the Black Madonna depiction is linked with dark feminine strength and power. Scholars have argued that the Church's denial that the Virgin Mary is indeed black was the religious patriarchy's way of painting the Dark Mother of creation in a subservient and pure light. The universe is here to heal and protect you. Surrender and know it's working for your highest good. We have to submerge ourselves into love. We have to submerge ourselves into deep, powerful, ancient love that is the holding of our whole world, of our whole anatomy. We have the King of Water. Open your heart and mind to those around you, trustworthy and heartfelt advice, charity work. And 2 of Water, a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. I think we also have to understand, like, when we tell this story, it's developing even deeper. And it's developing into a powerful omen. We had to understand our own pleasure. This is rigid. This is something that you have to deeply jump into. This is a depth that is so much down there. And this is a knowing. You came here to know yourself. That's your vision. You came here to know yourself. How deep you can go. It's an oath that you have. It's very complicated here. But it opens up and it unlocks the key to your heart. To love. And see, this lust, I feel like it makes you feel invisible. Lust creates invisibility. It creates, you can't see me, you just see me as an object. And this creates a sense of denial. It creates this sense of death. But when we come back into our meditation, we come back into the conclusion of our fragments. The conclusions of our loss of memory. See, when we use something, we take something away. We take its power away. We take its essence away. We take its true lush away. We take its true subtle encompassing subtleties and it's these sparkles, these things that conjoin, that makes it even more potent, makes it even more magic. See, we take our memory away. When we give ourselves, we talked about this back in July about the prostitute, how we just allow the material gains, the things that are not even truly real, but things that are organic, that are living, that gives us something natural. This is why Pisces has to choose the naturalness, has to choose. It's a choice. And you have to be very honest about that choice before you can step through this fire. And then it gives you your success. It gives you what you need. It gives you everything. You got to follow that moon to get that fulfillment, baby. Which means you got to let go. You got to let go of some cycles. You got to let go of some cycles. You got to take the risk to love yourself, baby. That self-worth. That encompassing all to be the Queen of Pentacles. You got to really sit down. You got to want it some more. So that you can find that beauty in yourself and find that loyalty in yourself. That is really what's the reminder. Don't forget, that's the message. The message is understanding your individuality, your soul. You came into this world to know what? Your soul. Okay? And the magnifying glass is your sun. The light. To follow into that energy, that Mars. To give energy to the very things that you feel trapped in. So you got to focus in your dharana to understand the difference, to understand what is not playful, what is not hopeful. See, when you come into this world, babies, you got to be so damn focused on your dharana. You got to be so focused on your dharma. That's the message. So you know the difference, so that you can play. This is discernment, baby. Discernment. You got to be discerning of all the things that is not of spirit, so you can find your strength. Your strength is your obedience. And this is how you summon thee. You summon that confidence. You summon that power player. You understand that you belong. See, the fledging is taking out the things that no longer belong and tapping into what is forbidden. See, they try to take out water. They try to take out the air that you breathe so that you can't listen. You need air and water so that you can tap into that spirit. You got to remember, so that you kind of come up in here and be a warrior. That's Aries. You got to be a warrior, Aries, so you don't get deceived. So you don't see the deceit. So you can finally have your understanding and understand and realize your movement. Come on, somebody, so that you can move all those things out the way and cause and wish upon a star. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. That's all. I'll see you in October.